Well, hello there. Welcome to my weekly abundance reading for this week, beginning the 31st of January 2022. I'm calling this week reading the signs, because there are a lot of signs around us that if we read, we can actually see that there's some movement starting to happen, which I think is really good. I feel optimistic this week because the energy has shifted. Now, someone told me, because I'm not really that much into astrology, as you might know, Mars is moving into Capricorn, and apparently this is why this energy is moving now. Oh, as well, what I do know is that Mercury kind of goes direct again on 3rd or 4th, a couple of days away from now. So that always moves energy forward as well, because Mercury retrograde often takes us backwards to look at old stuff, to work through the stuff that we never fully processed before. And that's why I think I've had a lot of clients in the last few weeks coming with all this old stuff coming up, particularly related to childhood, mother stuff. But really, that's kind of there a lot of the time anyway for us. Anyway, so that goes direct 3rd or 4th. And so we'll be moving forward. And what I feel that we're moving into is looking at our career, or the way that we earn our money, looking at possible new directions in that, maybe change of career, maybe just tweaking it slightly so that you get really aligned with what is your purpose. I think this next week or two is particularly powerful to help us get really clear on that, what it is. So we often say, oh, you know, it's my passion and purpose. Your passion isn't necessarily your purpose, but you should also love your purpose. You know what I mean? So you might have a passion for dog training, but it's not necessarily your purpose. So I just want to kind of put that in there. However, when you are fulfilling your purpose, there is such a feeling of joy and abundance and flow that you're kind of in no doubt that this is alignment, right? It feels so good, really. What I love to do is help people get really in alignment with that. So just as a quick note, I offered some intuitive business sessions for people to help them get this clear alignment. So if that would be of interest to you, DM me, I'll tell you more details about that. So yes, that's right, because what I'm seeing, just checking my notes, I always do. What I'm seeing is a lot of confused people at the moment. People are searching to find their career or direction. Maybe there's some kind of deep knowing within them that now is the time. Because I'll talk a little bit about this, a little bit more about this in a moment. But we're at the start of this whole new timeline, this new age of light. And I'm wondering, is that why there's this feeling within us that I've got to get on track? I've got to get really clear and get really aligned. So anyway, just a question. And I'm seeing that a lot of people are really confused at the moment about what they should be doing. Some of them are putting the brakes on and doing nothing. Others are kind of going into overdrive and running around looking for their direction. Searching to find a new career, a new direction, maybe something that makes them unique, maybe something that gives them another certificate on the wall, that gives them some more knowledge. But people are searching, rushing to get something, it seems to me, certainly from the people that I've been interacting with recently. I want to say that not everybody is doing this from the level of the higher self or soul. A lot of them are doing it from their ego, and it's from a place of fear, really. Fear that they might be getting left behind when they see other people moving forward. So there are lots of new opportunities coming to us now. Things that have been there before, but we're seeing them in a new light for some reason. And that's probably to do with our shift of vibration, that we can now see it and we're more in line with it now. So, but just watch that you're not grabbing at things because there's a fear of being left behind, or a fear of not being enough or having enough kind of thing. So as well, because time is speeding up in this new vibration of this timeline that we've moved into, people are feeling like they have to come up with something really quick. As I say, it's the running, catching up, don't want to get left behind feeling. But I want to stress that there is time. You know, the boat is not leaving without you. There's time for you to get really clear, really aligned with what it is that you are here for. This requires knowing yourself a little bit deeper, clearing out your old stuff, getting in touch with what is your unique gifts and talents that you get to bring forward, because now is the time for bringing all of that forward, definitely. But don't run off in the wrong direction and miss the really important point of why you're here, what your uniqueness is. We tend to do this when we compare ourselves to other people, when we compare what we've achieved or haven't compared to somebody else that we think we should be doing as much as them or at the same level as them or something. I don't know. Comparisonitis is not good. It tends to send us down the wrong paths. So instead of looking at what other people are doing, focus on you. Single pointed focus is a quote that I always remember from one of my first teachers years back when I was learning coaching. He said, this course is a whole year. He said, let everything else go, concentrate on this with single pointed focus. I love that expression. And I've tried to remember it a lot through my life since then, because when we really want something, and I'm presuming that maybe that could be the growth in your business or developing your business, because kind of that's what I do, work with female entrepreneurs or spiritual women that want to grow or create a business. If you focus on your business with single pointed focus, that's what will get you there. Don't compare yourself to the other people. Don't run around looking for all these extras there. Just focus on your path. What is the way that you need to do it? Something that is unique to you. If you focus on other people and what they're achieving or not, because we know so much of it is fake, you know, that we see on social media. If you compare yourself to others, it will bring up your self-worth issues if you have any that you haven't healed yet. It will bring up a feeling of not being enough, knowing enough, doing enough, not being worthy, all of that stuff. And that is always actually what holds you back from that business growth, because really, when you know that you're worth it, when you work on yourself like that, everything begins to open up for you. So that should be your focus. But when you do comparisonitis, it really shuts you down further. So little warning, don't go there. It's not a good place to be. The signs of what you need to do are all around you all the time. You just have to train yourself to see them. And I want to give you this quick example of what happened to me just today, because in the night, I didn't sleep very well. And I was lying there turning over these things in my mind, as you do. And I thought, God, you know, I really need to probably do a cleanse. I could do a cleanse. That would be really good. I could do a cleanse. And I really need to really focus on my routine exercise or exercise regime, because I've been a little bit slack in both of those areas, I've got to say, recently. Anyway, popped off to sleep, woke up this morning and, you know, got up and about, got onto Facebook. And the very first post that I saw was a medical medium doing a live all about his 2-day liver cleanse. And I thought, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because in the night I was thinking about, oh, I should do a cleanse. I watched him for a little while, didn't have a lot of time, so I flicked up to the next thing. The very next video was a new Facebook friend of mine. I only actually accepted her friend request yesterday, and her video came up and she's doing some exercise, talking about heart health and saying how important it is to have a regular exercise routine. And I thought, well, there you go. There are my signs. It's like validation from the universe that, yeah, what I sensed or picked up in the night, there's my validation on Facebook, of all places, the next day, saying this is a good thing to do. Now, some people might say, oh, that's just coincidence. But look at all the millions, trillions, billions of videos that could have come up on my feed instead. Those were the two very first things I saw today. that completely aligned with my thoughts in the night. By contrast, I could have seen a video of giggling babies or talking dogs or people doing stupid dances. But I didn't. I got something that was directly connected with me. That to me is a sign, is a validation, and now I will follow through with that because the universe brought me that, or Facebook did. But that's kind of how I read signs. Now, I know that those types of signs are all around you all the time as well. So I encourage you to start following them. You can train yourself to spot them. So in the greater landscape this week, we continue to see some revealing of the truth. Of course, much of it is still heavily censored, but the signs of the revolution are there if we choose to see them. So people are standing up to protest against all the controls so that they can have their freedom back. And they shouldn't have to do that. The freedoms that we should enjoy were given to us by God. The governments don't have the right to take them away. They should never have been taken from us in the first place. And people are standing up. This is the revolution. So revelation, revolution, that's what's going on this year for those that have the eyes to see it. And we have to look for the signs because it's not going to be laid out all to us. It will in due course, but it's up to us to look for the signs of that now. So it's important to learn from history, or we're going to repeat it all over again. I've talked probably before about, you know, the Nazi timeline, Auschwitz, and all of that kind of stuff, which I don't need to go into again. But let me just say that we're at the start of a whole new timeline, a new era, the new age of light. And if we enter it with the mentality or the acceptance of just accepting the government controls, it will move in and start to control us at that level as well, because it's a horrible agenda that they have planned for us unless we stand up and say no. So we have to learn from history, otherwise we will repeat it. And we're at the start of a whole new timeline. And many of us have come back from the future into this point now, well, actually, you know, into the time of our birth, but we are about to start a whole new timeline now. And we have the consciousness to hold that timeline in a high vibration. And unfortunately, some of us have already forgotten what we were here to do, to hold that vibration and that level of consciousness. Some people have forgotten. They've forgotten that they needed to hold the ancestral and the genetic coding in their DNA. They forgot they needed to hold it intact. Some of them, in that respect, are lost already because the DNA cannot hold it when it's been manipulated. And so perhaps even that was, you know, part of their soul contract in itself, to get this far and then maybe just to falter before the finish line. We don't know that. We don't even know at this point who genuinely has fully intact DNA and who doesn't, of that group in the test. You know what I'm talking about. There are still some people with degrees of DNA intact there, but we don't know the full extent. And there are others that are fully intact in their DNA. So many people in business and in life give up just before the end, just before their success. And maybe for these people that have kind of capitulated and gone back into being part of that control mechanism, who knows, maybe that was part of their soul contract. Maybe they choose to get that far and then falter just before the finish line. But it's a reminder to all of us, we're not there yet. We have actually quite a long way to go yet. This has just begun. We're just at the start of this timeline, and we all want this beautiful paradise on earth. We want to live in a Garden of Eden, but we have to build that, and we're only at the very, very beginning. And that's why it's important to not give up, to hold your vibration high, to focus on the good things. Don't get pulled down into negativity and into the darkness. And the more we can hold a high vibration and act with pure intent and not give up before the finish line, then the quicker for everybody that we can actually create that paradise on earth, in a sense, that new golden age timeline. Now, it's true to say, because we're not there yet, because we have a long way to go yet, and people are still in the process of trying to clear their vibration, the density in their body, so that they can raise their frequency, it's true to say that old stuff is coming up for them. It's dense, it's heavy. If you're feeling stuck, if you're lost, if you're confused, if you're directionless, then all of that can be a sign that you've got more work to do on yourself. So get a healing session with someone that you know can work at that level. Not everybody can. Talk to a mentor who can give you guidance about this process that you're going through. Talk with a coach who can help you to dig deep inside yourself to get true alignment for you, and to help you find the next step for you. So that's what I'm recommending going forward. It's a very exciting time. I hope I don't sound too serious in this. I do want to get the message across because it's serious, but actually, to be honest with you, I'm really excited on the inside. I think this is an amazing time. I feel very optimistic. I feel, just really excited because I can feel this energy of change is building, but we mustn't give up now. We're not there yet. We have to keep moving forward with tenacity and really clear focus on the outcome that we want to achieve at the end of it, whether that's for humanity, globally, and even in our business and our personal life. You know, you're not going to get there if you kind of take your eye off the ball. And that's a really important period of time that we're in at the moment. So that's it for today. I have just a few more of those intuitive business sessions that I offered. I offered them last week. I have just a couple more left. If you feel that you need some support to get really clear on your direction, need a little bit of coaching, a little bit of mentoring, even a little bit of healing can be in that session. So if you want details of that, send me a DM and just say, you know, help me out, tell me more about the sessions, or send me the link if you're already convinced and you want to book one. They're at a very good price. It's a special price. Kind of really just because I wanted to help you to get really set up and clear to start this year clearly. The year 2022, really important year, 222, if you're into numbers. I've got all the good feels about this. It's going to be good. I just want to help to support you in whatever way that I can, and that's how I work best. So that's it for us for today. I hope this is useful to you. Let me know if you need any help with anything. You can look me up on my channels, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Karen Turpin Abundance Coach, and of course my website is KarenTurpin.com. Have a great week. I will see you next week. Bye for now.